Well, today isn't quite what I expected, and here's the reason why. Hi everybody, and welcome back to my channel Kazzalistic, and hi to my new subscribers. Thank you very much for joining me. So today is not quite the video that I planned. Not having a very good year. Before I start, if you're looking for a crochet video, I will be getting back to my normal schedule. I had planned for it to be today, but unfortunately life has got in the way. So there will be 2 crochet videos towards the latter part of the week. Again, I apologise for Chip, my cockatiel. Her and Billy are picking up on how I am. Part of the parrot family, so they're quite sensitive to people being upset. So if you're all wondering why I'm looking miserable, makeup's probably not perfect anymore. Thankfully I put on waterproof mascara and eyeliner on this morning. We've lost another dog. So there's something on the channel that I hadn't been talking about, particularly during the course of last year. I had wanted to, but it was too difficult, and I knew that I'd just regularly end up in tears, and I wanted to keep the channel upbeat, and I still intend to do that, but I kind of need to do this again for part of the grieving process for me and for you guys, just to understand where I'm at, and then obviously I can look forward and, you know, try to get on with life. So Mum's 2 oldest dogs, Bella, who we lost last Friday, as you know, and many of you have seen the video, and before I get into what's happened with Charlie, I just want to say thank you to everybody that's commented. I've had more comments on the video than I have on any other, ironically. I haven't replied to any yet. That's just because I haven't quite been in the emotional place to do it. I was getting to the point where I was ready for it, but now losing Charlie has obviously knocked me back a bit. So I will reply to everybody. I also want to say thank you. There was one lady, she knows who she is, I'm not going to name her, but who even offered to contribute towards the vet bills, which are enormous. And I just want to say thank you. Mum and I don't feel comfortable obviously doing that. You know, they're our dogs and our responsibility. But I just want to say thank you to all of you that have sent you know, well wishes to me and my mum and my family in general, and you know, for the offers of help. I really do appreciate it, and it means the absolute world to me, so thank you. Our other dog, he was a Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. If you'd watched Bella's video, you would have seen him in one of the pictures with Bella underneath her favourite apple tree, and you'd have seen he was a black, white and tan, which is known as a tricolour Cavalier King Charles Spaniel. His birthday was actually a month tomorrow, so he was just a month short of his 12th birthday. He was basically 6 months younger than Bella, so we had Bella first, and then Mum got him. I didn't even know she was getting him, and it was a surprise. So he sort of just appeared in my life, and Bella loved him and mothered him, and they were very, very close. It seems a little bit ironic that it's sort of 3 days apart that we've lost them, but we knew we probably would, well, we knew for definite that we would lose Charlie this year. When the new year hit, we actually thought we were going to lose him last year. He was diabetic. He had an operation on his foot in 2012 for a lump that was on his front left paw. And about 6 months after that operation, he became diabetic, and then because of the diabetes and all the eye problems are quite often linked to diabetes, he ended up with a condition called dry eye, which meant that he wasn't producing any liquid over his eyes, so his eyes would dry out. so it meant a lot of eye drops. He was having to have insulin injections. We would have to take things like honey out with us when we went for a walk in case he had a hypo, which thankfully we never had to worry about. But he was a stubborn, beautiful boy, and he fought gallantly for 5 years. Well, this is into the 6th year now, and unfortunately one of the other side effects of being diabetic and being an old dog was that he went into heart failure. And unlike with people who can pass in their sleep, dogs don't tend to pass away from heart failure in their sleep, and we were warned that he would either gradually decline like that, or he would remain steady and just drop off the cliff, and that's pretty much what's happened over this last 24 hours. So I haven't been talking about that on the channel, so when there were times I was saying there wasn't much to report, there was stuff going on behind the scenes, but I just couldn't bring myself to talk about it because I was so devastated knowing that we were going to lose him. We actually thought we would lose him before Bella, ironically, but I don't think he was ready to go until Bella had gone before him, if that makes sense. He's been gradually getting worse, particularly over the last 2 or 3 months. His heart rate had become faster. The last 2 checkups, one of which was Friday, which obviously I mentioned in Bella's video, he was at 240 heartbeats a minute, which is very fast. But that was the same as it had been just before Christmas on the previous check in early December. And the vet felt that as long as he had a quality of life at home, he was still going for walks, he was getting himself up, and Mum's got some quite steep steps to her back door, and he was getting up and down those, he was wandering around the garden, barking at things, being a completely normal dog. And although his walks were a lot slower than, you know, perhaps they were in his younger days, he was still going for a walk. And this morning is the first time he hadn't gone for a walk. So yesterday he had a completely normal day. My mum went to bed early and woke up to him barking at 10:30 last night. We spoke on video messenger, and she showed me, and he was panting, very heavy. He'd woken her up barking and then started panting very heavy. I rang the vets for some advice, and they suggested he was on diuretics, which would take the fluid off his lungs and from around his heart, and obviously make him just basically urinate it out. We were advised to give him an extra diuretic at 11 o'clock last night, which is what we did. After a couple of hours he settled down and he did sleep, and he was a little bit better this morning, but we had been advised to take him for a checkup. He wasn't quite himself. He would hear me coming, so when I arrived this morning he wasn't at the back door to greet me. He did come plodding through, but it was just, he wasn't quite right this morning. So we took him in. He's had the same vet for a very long time, a lovely man called Rob, who, of all the vets I've ever dealt with, I cannot speak more highly of this guy. He was wonderful. And we'd agreed a few months ago that when Charlie's quality of life was starting to diminish, which obviously is what happened last night. He was uncomfortable and struggling to breathe. Then we agreed that we would tell Rob the truth, our vet, and our vet agreed in return that he would tell us when it was time to let him go. So we took him in this morning and he listened, and we had a discussion, and he told us it was time. So, for the second time in 4 days, we had to have him put to sleep. So I'm sorry that I'm on camera crying again in such a short space of time. We're all devastated. House is too quiet at my mum's. So Mum and I were with him. They laid him on a nice thick blanket, made him comfortable. They took him through the back and put a cannula in his front right leg, mainly because it's difficult to find their veins when they're in heart failure. And then he carried him back into us and put him on the table, and we had the chance to say goodbye, and I told him to go find Bella, and he gave him the anaesthetic. He passed very quickly, actually slightly quicker than Bella did, and actually fractionally more peaceful than she did, so I'm very grateful for that. So he went peacefully. The vet carried him to the car, we took him home. Partly because we couldn't afford another cremation. Because he was a smaller dog, obviously it was easy to bury him. My mum has a very large garden, as I've said before. So my mum, my friend and I went over to, I picked my friends up and we went back over to Mum's after we got home, and I dug a hole and we wrapped him in the blanket and we buried him. It was very, very hard, and obviously this has literally happened. He was put to sleep at 10 o'clock, it's now 2:30, so this is still very, very raw. But I wanted to get this video done and out of the way, it's getting part of the grieving process so that I can move forward. I take comfort that him and Bella were together. They were so tight together. It's just a little bit ironic that they've gone so close together. So we've dug a hole ready for Bella's ashes, which we should get next, I think it's next week we get them. So we still have to go and pick her up, and we still have that bill to pay. Obviously we had a big bill to pay this morning, so things are a little bit difficult and very upsetting. Yeah. So we said goodbye to Bella on Friday, and we've said goodbye to Charlie this morning. Today's Tuesday. And I feel a bit lost, if I'm honest. So, I'm sorry it's a sad video again. If you're new to the channel, this isn't normally the type of video I do, but I always do a life update in my videos, and I didn't feel I could just do a crochet video today. I just haven't got it in me, to be fair. So I'm sorry for those of you who are looking forward to a video today about crochet. I'm going to do 2 at the weekend. I have a few days to compose myself and start moving forward properly. I'm hoping that's all my bad news for this year. Needless to say, it's not been the best of years so far. It's only the 9th of January. Ironically, it's my best friend's birthday today. I haven't told her yet, so I've still got that to do. She was one that named him, so it's my mum's birthday tomorrow as well, so it's pretty sucky timing. So I'm going to end it here. I just want to say thank you guys for all your support. It really has helped me get through, and I was just getting in a slightly more calmer place with Bella, and obviously I've got to now do this with Charlie. So I'm going to end this here, and I'm going to do the same for Charlie as I did for Bella, and put some pictures up so you can see what my beautiful boy is like. One disclaimer I just want to make is that some of the older pictures of him, which I probably will include one, his left eye became very big because of the dry eye, and it does look awful. It was being looked at by the vets, so please don't give me a hard time about it. He was under very strict veterinary care, and we worked with the vets the whole time, so I'll probably just put one older one in, so just be aware that his younger pictures and his older pictures, he will look slightly different because of his eye. But that being said, I don't want to dishonour his memory and pretend like that bit didn't happen. So I'm going to end it here. So thank you guys for watching. Thank you for all your support. I really do appreciate it, and I know my mum does as well. And I'm going to leave you with some photos of our beautiful boy. And so until next time, when hopefully it will definitely be crochet and we'll get back to normal. Until next time, remember to stay true to yourself. Bye.